Hello again. I'd like to reflect on what many people put to me. Is hell real? Or is it just a figment of the church's imagination? But first let us pray. Father, Mother, God of all faiths, it's important that we honor you, that we praise you, and that we celebrate our diversity as members of a loving faith community. I ask you now to bless me and to let me hear what you are saying so that I can share it in love. And it's done to glorify you, the Father, Mother, God of all faiths. Thank you. Now, hell, wow. What a loaded word. Doesn't it make the hairs on your back jump? As a young boy, we were threatened with hell. It was sort of a form of religious blackmail. And I suppose I've grown through life believing that hell is such a dreadful place. But now I realize as a mature Christian, a member of the Teo community of Interfaith Franciscans, that hell is on earth. Hell is truly here on earth. And I can speak again from personal experience looking at my own family. And as the eldest son of 5 brothers and 3 sisters, I tell you, talk about Angela's Ashes, the film or the book, I think we beat it hands down. Because in my own family there is such division, beautiful men and women that they are. But some have chosen a different path, to the path of peace. And yet I love them. I don't condemn them, but I don't condone what they do. But I think that the path they've chosen, a path of deceit, a path of lies, and these quick fix rich schemes will end up in disaster. And they will end up in their own living hell. Well, they're probably in a living hell now, because I know that one of my brothers and his wife, they're so paranoid that they go to all the fortune tellers, all the clairvoyants, to try and ease their guilty conscience. And if that isn't living in hell, I don't know what is. But again, I would like to just say that yes, I personally believe in a place called hell, but it's a place of separation. It's a place where one chooses to be. And it's not a place of light. It's a place of despair. It's like a spiritual depression that's ongoing, never ending, and no sense of light or hope. It's a place of hopelessness. And if you've ever been ill or been in difficult times where there's just been no light at the end of the tunnel, you just truly embrace that fear and that love. And you go with your heart. You honor your heart. You speak your truth, you honor your truth, and you come to your God in love. Hell is real. Hell is a place of real pain and suffering. And I believe that hell is a reality for a lot of us because we have chosen it. We've turned our face, our back on God, a God of love. And we've chosen to stay with our ego. We've not surrendered our heart, but we've chosen to live in fear. So for me, hell is a reality. I've nurtured and supported many people, both as a nurse and as a monk. And particularly the deathbed confessions, where I've been with many, many people who were dying. As a nurse, as a nursing monk, and then Natalie as a palliative care nurse. And you can tell those who embrace the light a good life, a life of truth, a life of honesty, a life of love, a life of compassion and mercy, to those who chose a different path, a life of deceit and lies. And the one who's chosen the life of deceit, their deathbed is not a pleasant experience because they're restless, they're searching, they're alone, they're struggling. And even though you offer them compassion and you try to be there for them, you try to anticipate their needs and alleviate their pain, they fight you off. They don't want to know. They die in fear. Is that not hell? So I think the important thing is talking about hell is we need balance. I don't live in fear of hell. I am aware that hell exists, but I believe that hell is on earth. And having been in prison, most of those guys are free, although they can't come out, but they're free in their mind and in their heart. But yet a lot of people outside are living in a prison or a hellish type experience where they have no love. They're loveless, they're lifeless. They're searching, but they don't know what they're searching for. They're looking and they're not finding it. But those of us who've surrendered our heart to God, regardless of religious belief, there's a sense of peace, isn't there? There's a sense of joy, a sense of being loved and accepted as a child of God, a sense of truth. And as you can hear in the background, some of our little doggies are barking. They're sort of, maybe they're affirming, or maybe they're disagreeing with me. But what I'm saying to you is, where there is life, there is God, and where there is God, there is love. And where there is love, there is freedom and liberty. There is no hell. So I would say hell is as real as the nose on your face. And when you choose to go down a different path that doesn't embrace love or compassion or peace, then I think you start walking the slippery slope into a hellish type experience where fear and tragedy and paranoia take over. And as I tried to do this recording there a short while ago, I was interrupted and I decided to abort the call, to abort the recording and answer the phone. And by golly, I was so pleased I did. So the inconvenience was a blessing in disguise, because I spoke to this beautiful woman called Tima, which means little mama. And she was sharing with me about her journey as an interfaith Franciscan, although not a member of our community, but she's aspiring to become an oblate in the Catholic fraternity of Franciscans as a secular Franciscan. But she has come from a Muslim family, and she was sharing with me what the Prophet Muhammad had to say about Jesus. And she said, God has put the heart of compassion and mercy into the heart of Jesus. And if we embrace God's love, if we surrender our heart to that all-knowing truth, that all-knowing selfless love, then hell doesn't have any power over us, because our heart has been surrendered to truth. And I would just say, honor your heart. Do what your heart guides you to do, and then you will know at the time when you cross over from this incarnation, you will know. Because I believe that when we die, God doesn't send us to hell. God allows us to see a video recording like this of our life. Maybe it's God's YouTube, I don't know, but I believe that we are given the opportunity to look back on our life, and it's then that we make the decision, do we go forward into light, or do we have to return to do some more work? I do not believe that God sends anybody to hell. Thank you.